We did a pre-release.
Yeah.
Which is not terribly unusual, but we did the two-headed giant Bloomburrow pre-release yesterday.
We did. It was tons of fun.
Yeah, and also I guess we want to share the little snippets of a video we made during that.
Yes.
And then talk about our first impressions
Yes.
of playing the set from the flavor perspective.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go.
Here we go.
We're here for two-headed giant, as
two-headed
is the
giant.
custom.
That's the way.
Didn't bring my gremlin because I'm a bad person.
So Marie's very lonely today.
Mary has to carry us. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
What do we want to open? Oh, on a Maha. Our friend just got a Maha in his prize packs from the prior event.
I think we were both pretty jealous.
Yep, that is correct.
He was excited too, but I think they were more excited.
Let's see what we get.
We'll see what we get.
We'll provide an update.
Yes.
Okay, so I put together the rule. I don't know if that's well thought out because it's mostly on the back of having 3 of this signpost, and it just seems like just cast a bunch of stuff and make them big and just beat down. Rule. But we're leaving out Glarb in this collection of, I think, quite good blue things. At least Kidnap, I think, is pretty good. A couple sugar coats. So that might come back to bite us. But what are you doing?
I'm playing Orzhov Bats. So we have the best removal in black and white. So this is all the best removal and a bunch of bats. So I've got a pretty decent amount of flyers. A couple of which have vigilance, so I'm hoping that pays off, and then you can close out games with the bigger creatures on your side of the board.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We just finished up our games. We ended up going 2-1, which is a first for us.
Yeah, it's always been 1-2 or 3-0, which
Yep.
just happened one time. It's usually 1-2,
Yeah,
so this is great
usually 1 and 2.
progress.
So yeah, this is good progress.
Thank you.
We got our packs. Haven't opened them yet, so
Nope.
we're probably going to do that once we get back.
Yep, and divvy
to
up the
residence.
cards.
Yes, we still have to divvy up our cards.
Zoraline did incredible work.
Zoraline did so good. I had so much fun playing bats.
Yeah, my Gruul Stompy
time.
went off twice.
Yes.
And
It was really fun to see all the
Yeah.
triggers happening. Like
Yeah.
it actually popped off a few times.
I think this set's going to have lots of these trigger storms because I've seen like a couple
so,
of frog
yeah.
decks go off on early
we
access
had some
videos.
frogs go off on us today.
Yeah, just all of a sudden triggers everywhere.
Yep. It was just boom, boom, boom.
All right. Whee!
All right. So, yeah, thoughts on the pre-release and Bloomburrow?
I am really pleased with the kind of narrative that emerges when you build a deck in this set. Because what you end up with is a cluster of creatures of a particular type. So in my case, I had a bunch of raccoons, and then a few little visitors from other creature types. So I had a couple of mice, and then so it feels like you have this heroic band, and it's like at the beginning of Lord of the Rings, you have a bunch of hobbits, and then they acquire, a human ranger to help them out for a while, and that kind of thing. And so a lot of stories I feel like kind of follow that, and this kind of wants to tell that story. So a lot of time I'd have 3 raccoons out, and then I'd play something else. And then the Calamity Beasts. When I first heard it wasn't going to just be those 8 mythics who were the big scary Calamity Beasts, and they were also going to have these uncommon Calamity Beasts who were just minor calamities. That kind of seemed like it was going to diminish the overall effect to me, but I really like the way that plays out.
Yeah.
Because then the top of your curve, in my case I had a Quake Tusk Boar and a Hive Spine Wolverine. And then they feel like these big forces of nature that come in and are just stomping around, but they're not part of the smaller animal folk community.
Yeah.
They feel like something different.
Yeah.
And so just by the way that they have distributed these creature types around the mana curve and the color pie, it all works out in a really fun way that
It did, yeah. I ended up building Orzhov Bats, kind of, not wholly intentionally. I had a couple of really good, obvious, I'm definitely going to play these bats. And then it just made sense. The bats want to do things that synergize with each other, so I ended up playing mostly bats.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple of little one-off creatures here and there that kind of showed up to help out, like the little party member additions.
the weasel, the stoat.
The little stoat.
Both stoat and weasel are so fun to say.
Yes.
You get to say them both when you're playing that card.
Stoat was an all-star, little 2/2 first strike lifelink for 2. He was great. And then the weasel was okay.
Wait, the weasel's the same thing.
Oh, I thought
The
it
weasel
was.
is
What about
the stoat is the type weasel, but
that's
what is the other thing you're thinking of?
The other one I was thinking of was that 4/3.
Oh, the one with offspring?
Yes.
It's the rat.
that one was a rat.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, it's not a rat. Because I remember thinking that, and I think it's actually...
The Valley Rot Collar?
The Valley Rot Collar, which is a squirrel warlock.
Right,
That's the one I'm thinking of. The
yeah.
Menace, which I honestly thought that one was going to be a little bit better, and then it kind of didn't ever really end up doing anything. I think it did eat some removal for us.
But we encountered a lot of removal in this, and so we never got the big board state that would have been able to take advantage of.
Yeah, that really wants a bigger board state that I never really quite got there.
And maybe that'll be a problem for this throughout, but we had a very small sample size. We played 3 games, and I think it only came out once.
Yeah, I think I only had it out in like 1 game. But you are correct. The Thornplate Intimidator is the rat rogue with offspring, which that one was fun. I like the offspring mechanic. We got to use that a little bit, and it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it fills up the board and has that same effect I was talking about. It gives you this band of brothers who are all of a type, and they're all doing their thing, and then they get their friends, and yeah.
Yeah, I found it there were so many fun cards in this set that I just like aesthetically. I love having all these different animals to play with.
Yeah. And we talked in depth about the no humans sets and how this is one of those. I think that's where this really shows up, because normally when you put a deck together in limited, it's got a bunch of humans and then some other stuff, and so even if there's a typal theme like you see in the Innistrad sets, it doesn't usually have quite that same feel. Yeah, this is just different in a good, fun way.
Yeah, it's different.
It's the Redwall experience,
and I like it. It's super fun. I really enjoyed getting to play with these cards, and I'm very excited to... I think this has finally given me the push I need to organize my collection since moving, because I haven't really made any headway on that project. But I'm really excited to organize these, and so I think that's going to get me...
Good. That means you have to have a bunch of these.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
We can work on that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's going to be possibly a little longer between this and the next episode, because I'm going to Gen Con.
That's right. I'm not.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But you'll be going to MagicCon Vegas.
So I am going to Vegas.
So we'll get there. Yeah. We'll get there.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll try and find interesting Magic stuff. I might get some little videos there and put together a small video. And we did the review that seemed pretty well received of the MagicCon Chicago back in February.
Yeah.
So I'll try and just put together a little synopsis of what the experience is like as someone who's primarily a Magic player at the moment. But I know we're going to do some other stuff there. We'll see how it goes.
Because Gen Con is primarily, it's like tabletop gaming, right?
Yeah.
It is definitely not geared toward Magic.
No, but it's where Magic debuted. Like in 1993, it was debuted at Gen Con. So
that's cool.
It's that kind of place.
It's got some...
And there are so many Magic events scheduled.
Yeah, Verhees events.
Yeah, it has one Gavin Verhey event down from like the 3 at a MagicCon, and but they've got nonstop draft on demand of Bloomburrow, and I'm hoping to get a few of those in. But I'll be there with friends who are there for other things also. We're all Magic players, but we also have they have other interests.
They have other interests.
I might be willing to have some other interests. We'll see. We're also going to do an Amonkhet flashback draft.
That sounds like a really fun time. Yeah. I think that's the one thing I'm kind of jealous I'm not going to participate in, but but that's okay.
We'll see what they have flashback draft wise in Vegas.
Yeah, they might have something really cool that we want to flashback draft.
Yeah, it's in spooky season, so maybe some Innistrad. Yeah,
that'd be fun because we're putting together some costumes. Maybe.
Now you're committing us to that. Saying it on
Am I? Okay, well, you can always edit this. You can cut this part.
No, I want to commit to it. Yes, we're putting together costumes.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else for this week?
No, I think that's it. Probably the next stuff we start doing, we're going to be looking at Duskmourn, because
we'll see.
Coming up. We might do some other stuff in the interim.
It'll probably still be back and forth, Duskmourn, Bloomburrow.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm sure we'll have more to say about this set because it's really fun, but with as quick...
I know, it's also exciting.
It's like almost time for Duskmourn, so...
Yeah. Okay, we'll be back pretty soon.
Yes.
With something Magic related.
There will be something.
Somehow we'll come up with a topic.
Yes.